about this because I didn't do a whole lot of talking about this here. Um, I bought me a car in April last year. And when I bought the car, it didn't have any type of scratches on it. The car was fine. So, I don't know if the day, same day, whatever. It might have been the same day or the day after that. So I went out to check my car. So when I went out to check my car, my hood had a dent in it. So, when I went in and my hood had a dent in it, my husband was outside. And I said, did you see the dent on my vehicle? He said, no, it must be there when you bought it, which I know wasn't no dent on my car when I bought it. Because I went around my car, not just saw it when I first bought it, but then at the gas station to get gas, because I had to stop and get gas. I had no dent on my hood. So it wasn't long after that, y'all. Then I noticed, just think I just came from my son's house. I noticed, just walked over and looked at my vehicle for some reason. It had to be God. He had gotten scratched my front end of my vehicle, scratched the paint off it. Just scratched the paint off it. And then when I went in there to say something to him, he said, I ain't do that. He went outside and brought my daughter out there to look at it and stuff. But see what he didn't realize, the paint, what he had scraped off it, was still on the fender. Or the grill, whatever you call that part right there. He had damaged the front of my car. Not just that, he had damaged the area where the tailpipe on the right side of the vehicle. Oh y'all, how ignorant is that? How childish is that? Now, you didn't pay for my car. Mind me, you didn't pay for my car. The vehicle I had was an old vehicle, which I was grateful I had a vehicle to drive. Till he took I had towing on it for my safety. He took the towing off it. I don't know how I found out he took the towing off it, but I did. I think I asked or something. So why would you, if you know it's an older vehicle, I had towing on it just in case it broke down, because it had broke down before, like once or twice. But he took it off. So one day it did break down. So he had to come and get us, and it took several hours before he got there, right? So I think I talked about it a little bit. But then I want to talk, the major thing I want to talk about too, this is all the incidents I had with my car. Now, he was at home. All these incidents that happened to it, he was at home. Okay, so one day I went out, to get in my car to leave, right? And I got in my car and noticed my tire lights was on. The tire lights. You know, the light that tell you that the tires are low, right? So I went on it. I went on to Sam's. I said, well, I'll check it at Sam's. So I went to Sam's and I had it checked. Only thing I let Sam do, just put air in them, because I was thinking maybe he just ran the air out the tires. So the next thing you know, guess a week or something later, or 2 weeks later, the tires was down again. All 4 tires. Not one, all 4 tires, y'all. All 4 tires. Now, what do you think about that? So I went to one man. He said, well, tires do that. And I'm like, I said, this man think I'm stupid or something. Ain't no all 4 tires going to go down at the same time. That's impossible. So when I drove it, and I just putting air in it. So the guys would putting air in it. So one day I said, well, I drove all the way here. God brought me all the way here. And the tire stayed up. So when I got here, I went to a tire station here. Well, no, first I went to Sam's because it came down again. So I went to Sam's. The guy checked it real good at Sam's. I think I went to Sam's 2 or 3 times. They still couldn't find it. So the third time I went, the guy said, well, listen, bring it. The second time, the guy said, bring it this day I'm here. And I'm going to put it up and I'm going to check it for you real good. And he checked it and he found a roof intact in the sidewall of the vehicle. And he told me, he said, somebody put this in your vehicle. Somebody did this deliberately. Where it said it's impossible. So he had let the tires down low where he could tried to bust off 4 tires, y'all. This how evil he is. Now, you didn't buy this vehicle. You didn't give me money. You didn't offer me money. I paid my own insurance on my vehicle. But then you gonna try to, but you trying to damage it. This how evil he is. And I wanted to talk about that a little bit, today. Not I don't want to make the video too long. I just wanted to tell, to show y'all different things. But then this is the person that run around telling people I was crazy. This is what he did to my vehicle. And mammy, now he taking care of some other woman, several different households, right? Taking care of everybody else, but he wasn't taking care of his household, his wife. But he was taking care of his hoe and other hoes and pimps and all that. Men, he had men too, men friends too. So I'm like, I don't know why I was surprised. You try to think better of people, but then they show you the real color of who they is. You always trying to think better of them. But, God, see a person for who they are. Because there had to be a very wicked person to bust 4 tires, trying to bust all 4 tires. Now, no, you ain't going to pay for nothing. Because you're already jealous because I got a better vehicle than what you had me riding around in. But I guarantee you had his whole riding on in a nice vehicle. So he was taking care of her and her children or whatever. Because, see, that's what he was trying to pretend like he this good person with them. And this woman knew he had a wife, though, y'all. What was the funny part? She knew he had a wife. And, I was hearing people, the mistress, oh, they have this. Let me tell you something, baby. You could be a mistress, whatever you want to be, baby. But when God come through and judge that, you see what kind of mistress you become, baby. But then, see, the thing about this, my situation, I already knew what was going to transpire. And I knew the outcome from that other woman as well. So I'm not, I don't worry about it. I'm just putting my testimony out here. What happened to me out here. Not putting out here because, oh, I'm jealous or, but I don't care. I don't, number one, I'm not putting no confidence in flesh. I'm not putting no confidence in like, oh, I got to have this man or, oh, I got to have, no, I'm not like that. That's what he thought. That was the deception and deceit in his head, that I needed him, that he was all that. No, you was a piece of flesh. You was a man that would put your mouth on anything and your ping on anything or in anything. So you thought I was all wrapped up in you a fool. That's what you are. Okay, y'all, I just want to talk about that, to let y'all see how things, and he was still, he would steal stuff from me out the house. He would steal. He would literally steal and move stuff. I mean, steal. I don't know if he went solo. I don't know if he took it to his home or some other kids till he got, I don't know. But he would take my stuff like it was his, and he didn't give me a dime about nothing. One day he told me, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. I said, you ain't bought nothing. But you want to say what you're going to do with my stuff when I'm the one paid for it, and you never gave me a dime to pay for nothing. Okay? But listen, y'all, I'm not going to talk too long. I just want to share, this is one of the things I didn't talk about as much, about how he tried to sabotage my car that I had just bought. Paid for it cash myself. Not a dime came from him because he don't give me money. But I paid for a car, paid cash for it. It was I bought it last year. It was a 2021. A nice little vehicle. I love it. I love the color. I love everything about it. I just, like I was laughing, I made a video because I didn't know it had a sunroof because I didn't know. I just like the color of the car, y'all. I laugh sometimes too. When I meet other people and they say, oh my God, I love the color of your car. And I bust out laughing and I'll tell them, well, you know what? That's why I bought the car, because of the color. And they laughing too. They say, oh, I love the car too. And yesterday, the day before yesterday, I was at Sam's Club. And the little lady, she was pumping gas in her car and I was pumping gas in my car. And we both laughed because she had a blue car and my car was like, 2 different color blue. But we bust out laughing. She said, I like blue too. And I told her, I said, I love blue too. That. And she said, well, I love the color of your car. I said, girl, I love yours too. And I laughed and I asked her what the color was. She said, oh my God. She said, I don't know what color it is, but it was a beautiful blue color. And I go around, I talk to people. I speak to people. I'm a person, I call a social butterfly. Well, I like to talk to people because you don't know what somebody going through. That's why I do that, because I like to talk to people. But listen, I'm not going to talk too long. I just want to share that about the car. And listen, thank you all for joining. Watch the video through. Go back and watch if you don't mind. And would you please make sure you all like the video. But have a nice evening and smile and greet people. Okay, because you don't know what they need. They may need